The hard worker lie that keeps you broke and burned out. The lie that feels like progress. You're praised for being a hard worker, first in, last out, always on. But here's the trap. Being busy feels like progress while it quietly keeps you broke and burned out. Today, I'll help you swap the hard worker costume for an achiever identity that ships outcomes. You'll learn motion versus progress, the shame-fueled hustle loop, and the 3 rules that flip your default. If your day is full of emails, reorganizing, and meetings, yet nothing moves, this is why. Stick with me, there's a secret step that makes everything 10x easier. If you've ended a 12-hour day with nothing to show, we're fixing that. The psychology of busy, why your brain loves motion over progress. If you've ever felt a rush from making a plan, starting a new doc, or lining up tools before you actually do the work, that's your brain chasing certainty. Busyness reduces anxiety by giving instant structure. It's the illusion of productivity. You feel in control, but your results don't change. Here's the thing most people miss. Your brain often rewards initiation and novelty, which can feel more stimulating than steady completion. Starting something new can trigger a rewarding dopamine response. Checking a box can too, but the novelty of beginning frequently feels bigger, so we unconsciously chase, starts, and call it progress. That's motion. Progress is different. Progress is outcomes that exist in the real world when you're done. Sent proposals, shipped drafts, published pages, working features, booked demos, money collected. This clicked for me when I looked at a packed calendar and realized none of the entries had a finish line. Work on email, research, brainstorm, all motion, no outcome. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this: motion is activity, progress is outcomes. Let me show you exactly how to map this. Tomorrow, carry a sticky note or open a simple note on your phone. Split the page into 2 columns, activities and outcomes. Throughout the day, log what you do. Cleared inbox to 0 is an activity. Client-approved proposal is an outcome. By 3 p.m., most people have a wall of activities and maybe one lonely outcome. That gap is your busy bias. Now, why does your brain prefer motion? Certainty. Motion gives you instant answers. I'm working. Progress asks harder questions. What's the finish line? What if it's not good enough? What if I ship and get silence? Avoidance hides inside busyness. You feel safe because you're in motion, but you never have to face the scoreboard. The shortcut nobody teaches is outcome-first planning. Define the finish line before any action. Instead of write for 2 hours, say draft 800 words on chapter 2. Instead of work on landing page, say publish V1 with headline, hero, CTA, and 1 testimonial. The reason this works is it turns ambiguity into a target, and your brain prefers clear targets to open-ended wandering, especially under time constraints. Okay, so the tricky part is breaking the reflex to plan in time blocks. That habit feels legitimate, but it's vague. A time block can be filled with high-quality progress or elaborate procrastination. If you schedule 2 hours of research, you can scroll, bookmark, and feel busy. If you compile a 1-page summary with 3 citations and recommendation, you either produce it or you don't. The scoreboard doesn't lie. Let me give you a quick example you can try today. Pick 1 task you've been avoiding. Write an outcome statement that a stranger could verify. Send the draft to Maria for feedback, not polish the draft. Publish the pricing page, not work on pricing. Then give it a simple constraint, time or quality. Publish a 70% version by 4 p.m. Now run a 25-minute sprint with 1 micro-commitment. I will produce the first ugly version by minute 25. When the timer ends, you either have something or you don't. That binary outcome shakes you out of motion. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to convert everything into outcomes at once. Start with 1 project, 1 daily primary outcome, 3 enabling tasks that directly lead to it. If an enabling task isn't completion bounded, it's motion. Get 3 quotes is bounded. Look into vendors is motion. A micro story. Last week, a student tracked her day with the activities versus outcomes map. She discovered she'd spent 90 minutes color-coding her asana and 45 minutes reorganizing folders. 0 shipped deliverables. We switched her to outcome-first planning for 1 project. Published draft blog post with header image and internal links by 3 p.m. She shipped it in 2 25-minute burns. The difference? She defined the finish line before touching a key. Common mistakes to avoid. Starting with tools instead of targets. Tools are fine after the outcome is defined. Measuring time instead of results. Hours are a vanity metric. Chasing novelty. New templates feel good, finished work pays you. Overplanning. More detail often hides fear. Outcome clarity beats plan complexity. Let me add a quick win. Before you end today, write tomorrow's single primary outcome in one sentence, outcome first with a constraint. Then set a calendar block with that sentence as the event title. When you sit down tomorrow, you're not asking, "What should I do?" You're asking, "How do I finish this by the deadline?" That subtle shift kills the busy reflex. The reason this works is it aligns your brain's craving for certainty with actual progress. The certainty comes from the clear outcome, not from filling time. Once you nail that, everything else clicks, because motion addiction loses its grip when you consistently end the day with receipts, things shipped that didn't exist this morning. And boom, look at that result. You can now tell the truth about your day. Not "I worked hard," but "I shipped X." That's the doorway out of the hard worker lie and into an achiever identity. Now that you see how motion seduces you, we're going to talk about the costume many of us wear to justify it, the hard worker identity, and why it blocks real results. The hard worker identity, armor that blocks results. Now that you can spot motion, let's talk about the suit of armor that keeps it in place. The hard worker identity. It sounds noble, grit, late night sacrifice, but here's the twist. Identity protects status. When your status is "I grind," you're shielded from the risk of visible failure. If success is about hours, not outcomes, you never have to face a clear scoreboard. You're safe, but you stay stuck. The thing most people miss is how comforting this armor feels. Hours are easy to count. They're socially rewarded. You get praise for being slammed, for being on at 10 p.m., for taking calls on weekends. The external validation says, you're valuable because you try so hard. But value isn't effort, value is impact. And hiding behind effort keeps you from being judged on results. Let's name the traits so you can see them fast. Martyrdom, sacrificing sleep and boundaries to prove dedication. Hours is worth, more time equals more virtue. Perfectionism, polishing to avoid criticism. Complexity worship, making plans heavier to feel serious. Hero mode, swooping in to fix last-minute crises you helped create. Why does this identity block results? Because it rewrites the rules of the game. Instead of "did it ship?" the question becomes, "How hard did I work?" That shift moves you away from measurable outcomes and into endless performative effort. And it's sneaky. You'll tell yourself you're just being thorough. You'll tell yourself standards matter. But under the hood, it's fear avoidance. If you never ship, you never risk public failure. Okay, so the tricky part is getting honest about how you describe your work. Do an identity audit. Grab a note and list 5 phrases you regularly say about work. Things like "I'm swamped," "I've been grinding," "I've been working on this for weeks," "I'll make it perfect," "I just need more time." Now convert each one into a testable outcome statement. Ship the V1 deck to the team by 3 p.m., publish the landing page with headline, hero, CTA, and 1 testimonial. Send 3 proposals and collect 1 yes/no. If a stranger couldn't verify it happened, it's still armor. A micro story, a student of mine wore busy like a badge. Calendar stacked, messages flying, always late to the next meeting. When we looked at deliverables, she'd shipped nothing for 2 weeks. 0. We flipped one switch, outcomes over hours. For 7 days, she tracked only things shipped, no credit for time. She posted a weekly scoreboard, 2 published posts, 1 client proposal sent, 1 onboarding checklist finalized, 2 scheduled discovery calls. Same life, different identity. The momentum was immediate because there was nowhere to hide. The common mistake is confusing effort signaling with value creation. Replying fast doesn't mean you're moving the needle. Being available isn't a deliverable. Reformatting slides isn't impact. The reason this confusion persists is status. Signaling effort makes you look useful in the short term, but it buries long-term leverage, the systems, assets, and outcomes that compound. Here's a quick win that punctures the armor. Show your receipts. Once a week, create a simple scoreboard that lists shipped outcomes only. No hours, no meetings, just output, what exists now that didn't exist a week ago. If that list is thin, you don't need more time, you need different rules. Before we continue, you need to understand how identity drives behavior under pressure. When stress hits, you default to protecting who you believe you are. If you're the hard worker, you'll add hours, take more meetings, and polish longer. If you're the achiever, you'll clarify the outcome, constrain time, and ship the next version. The identity predicts the move. Let me show you exactly how to shift it. Start speaking in outcomes, not effort. Swap, I worked late for I shipped the proposal. Swap, I've been grinding for we closed 2 tickets. This seems small, but language is a lever. Your brain hears what you repeat. 2 weeks of outcome language, paired with a receipts scoreboard, and the hard worker costume starts to feel heavy, outdated, and honestly, unnecessary. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to ditch the identity without replacing it. You can't leave a vacuum. If you drop hard worker, you need a new container, the achiever identity. 3 clear rules baked into your day that remove decision fatigue and create friction for busy work. We'll install those next. But first, a quick test. If someone asked, "What did you ship today?" Could you answer in 1 sentence? If not, the armor is still on. One more trap to avoid: complexity worship. You don't earn extra credit for a 15-tab plan. Complexity feeds the identity because it feels sophisticated, but complexity is often camouflage for fear. The achiever prefers clarity, constraint, and cadence. Simple, testable, repeatable. If you remember nothing else, identity is the engine. Hours are the smoke. Stop worshiping the smoke. We're going to write the rules that make outcomes your default, even on hard days. Then we'll design your environment so busy work gets awkward and shipping feels automatic. The achiever identity: 3 rules that flip your default. Rules beat motivation. When the day gets loud, you won't rise to your goals, you'll fall to your rules. So we're going to install 3 simple rules that turn outcomes into your default move. No philosophy, no fluff, just guardrails that make busy work clunky and shipping automatic. Rule 1, start with output. The thing most people miss is they open their laptop into a sea of inputs, email, Slack, calendars, then wonder why they never produce. Achievers flip it. First action of the day is an output decision and an output act. You open the exact document where the next version lives, write your done statement at the top, and produce the first ugly slice before touching any inbox. Why it matters: the first win sets the day's identity. Start with output, and your brain tags you as a producer, not a responder. What it looks like: at shutdown the day before, you leave 1 file ready, pointer in place, checklist visible, next step highlighted. In the morning, you read your 3 rules aloud, then you produce a micro outcome before checking messages. 10 sentences for the draft. 1 slide stubbed with headline, key points, and placeholder graphic. A pull request with the skeleton function and tests failing forward. The trap to avoid is warming up with admin. There's no warm-up. Output is the warm-up. Rule 2, constrain by time. If you give work infinite time, it will take it and still feel unfinished. Achievers compress the work into a clear container and respect the walls. Use 25-minute burn cycles with a 5-minute off-ramp. Each burn starts with a micro-commitment. By minute 25, I will produce X. Constraints create focus. Focus supports completion. Completion creates momentum. Here's the reason this works. Without constraint, your brain optimizes for comfort. With constraint, it optimizes for selection, choosing the highest leverage action because the clock is real. Common mistake: treating the timer as a suggestion. Optional rules die under pressure. Non-negotiable means you stand up at minute 25, even if you're almost done. Take the 5, reset, and ship the next slice. That cadence prevents spirals and keeps quality improving steadily instead of in frantic midnight marathons. Rule 3, ship ugly, then iterate. Perfectionism often looks like quality, but it's usually fear. The achiever standard is 70% usable, testable, coherent, then feedback, then pass 2 for polish. The first version is intentionally plain and fast. You're validating value before you invest shine. 2 pass quality. Pass 1 for structure and correctness, pass 2 for clarity and tone. You earn polish with proof. Why this rule is critical: nothing teaches like real-world feedback. You'll learn more from 1 shipped 70% version than from 3 weeks of hypothetical tweaks. Most people never see that learning because they're stuck in almost. The achiever prefers small bets with tight loops. Ship, learn, adjust. That rhythm builds confidence because you collect real wins instead of imaginary standards. Now let's operationalize the rules so they run without willpower. Put them on your calendar and your to-do template. Top of your daily plan, a checkbox block that reads, rules read aloud, start with output, constrain by time, ship ugly, then iterate. Your first calendar block mirrors your primary outcome, not your meetings. The event title is the outcome sentence with a constraint. Publish blog V1, headline, hero, CTA, 1 testimonial by 9:30. After that block, add a 5-minute ship or show buffer. Either you ship or you document why you didn't and what you'll change next burn. That tiny accountability loop keeps the rules alive under stress. Tie the rules to your daily review. End of day, 3 questions. Did I start with output? What did I produce before inputs? Did I honor time constraints? How many 25/5 cycles did I complete? Did I ship a 70% version? What feedback did I collect? If you remember nothing else from this section, remember the triad: clarity, constraint, cadence, clarity from output first, constraint from time boxes, cadence from shipping iterations. Together they create friction for busy work because busy work hates being measured, timed, and shipped. Common mistakes to avoid. Making rules negotiable. Just today, exceptions become your new policy. Writing rules in vague language. If a stranger can't tell if you did it, it's not a rule. Splitting your first hour between output and inbox. That's identity whiplash. Pick output. Treating shipping as a finish line. Shipping is the starting line for feedback. Quick win, write your 3 rules in first person, present tense on a sticky note and read them before you touch a keyboard. I start with output. I constrain by time. I ship ugly, then iterate. 2 weeks of this and you'll feel the old armor slip. Why? Because the rules quietly deliver receipts, and receipts rewrite identity. One micro story to make this concrete. A client kept researching for a white paper. We installed the rules. Day 1, she started with output, a scrappy outline and 3 paragraph stubs in 25 minutes. Day 2, constrained by time, she drafted the body in 3 burns. Day 3, she shipped a 70% version to 3 readers, got 2 fast notes, and used past 2 to type. White paper live in 72 hours. Before the rules, 3 weeks of motion. Once you nail these rules, everything else clicks. Next, we'll design your environment so the right move is the easy move and busy work gets stuck in the doorway. Environment design. Friction for busy work, glide path for outcomes. Environment beats willpower. If your space is wired for reaction, you'll react. If it's wired for output, you'll produce. So we're going to rig your surroundings so the achiever rules run on rails and the hard worker habits hit speed bumps. Start with your default desktop. Most people boot into chaos, dock packed with apps, notifications lighting up, feeds 1 click away. The thing most people miss is how a single visible icon can trigger a motion loop, so we hide the triggers. Create a clean desktop with 1 folder called Today. Inside it, 1 project, 1 doc, 1 checklist. Everything else lives out of sight. Disable badges on mail, Slack, socials, no red dots. If it needs you, it'll be in your triage window later. Now let's fix the phone. The phone is a vending machine for motion. Move all feeds and inboxes to the second screen, buried in a folder called Intentional. Remove badges. Keep only 3 tools on your home screen: timer, notes, calendar. That sets a silent message: time, outcomes, cadence. If you need dopamine, you'll have to work for it. Your physical workspace matters too. Put your tools within arm's reach for the 1 project that matters. Everything else goes in a bin or drawer. 1 notebook open to your 131. 1 pen, water bottle, that's it. The reason this works is it reduces context switching friction in the direction you want and increases it where you don't. Reaching for a random task now requires effort. Reaching for the outcome is effortless. Here's the outcome-first workspace setup I use. When you end today, leave your environment in a messy but ready state. The exact file open to the next section, checklist visible with the next box unchecked, reference tabs loaded but muted, and your sticky note with the 3 rules at the top. Don't clean to 0. Cleaning can be a procrastination costume. You want a runway with lights on, not a polished hanger with no plane. Let me show you the shortcut nobody teaches: inverted triggers. Instead of asking, how do I start tomorrow? You preload tomorrow's first click before you end today. Leave the cursor where you should type the next sentence. Paste a placeholder headline where the slide needs it. Add a comment to yourself. Start here, write 2 bullet points. That tiny breadcrumb collapses start friction from minutes to seconds. Last week, a client shaved 15 minutes off every morning just by leaving the next keystroke waiting. Common mistake, using setup time to reorganize everything. You'll end up alphabetizing folders while the outcome waits. Set a good enough end state, relevant tabs open, next step obvious, nothing else in view. If you feel the itch to tidy, give it 2 minutes max and only for the active project. The rule is ready, not pretty. Let's talk feeds and inboxes. Build friction. Log out after each session. Use site blockers during burn cycles. Create an inbox alley Chrome profile with ugly grayscale theme and keep it separate. Switching to that profile should feel like walking down a hallway, not falling into a pit. Put a small sticky note on that monitor. Is this now, next, or never? We'll wire that to Triage soon. Quick win, a 10-minute reset checklist that primes tomorrow's outcome. It looks like this. Capture, dump open loops into your notes. Choose, write tomorrow's 131 with the primary outcome in the calendar title. Stage, open the exact file, place cursor at the next step, load needed references. Protect, enable site blocker schedule, mute non-essential notifications, log out of inbox. Anchor, place your rules sticky note at eye level, water bottle filled. Run this reset at the end of your day. It's light, it's repeatable, and it turns your morning into a glide path. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to design a perfect system day one, new apps, elaborate shortcuts, multiple monitors, macro keyboards. Complexity creates motion. Start stupid simple. One outcome, one doc, one checklist. Add sophistication only when the current system breaks from success, not boredom. The reason this approach works is it aligns your environment with the 3 achiever levers: clarity, constraint, cadence. Clarity from a single visible outcome. Constraint from hiding motion triggers and scheduling blockers. Cadence from the end of day, reset that sets tomorrow's first move. Busywork hates that combination because it can't sneak in silently. It hits friction at every entry point. Micro story, a designer I coached kept opening Figma, then just checking Slack, then falling into feedback threads. We stripped his desktop to one today folder and moved Slack to a separate profile with a scheduled block during burns. We added an inverted trigger, a bold placeholder headline on the next slide. Result, he started each day by shipping a 70% slide in the first burn, then iterated after triage. Same talent, different environment, radically different output. If you remember nothing else, remember this: design beats discipline. Build a room that nudges you to ship. Put your outcome in front of your eyes and your distractions behind a door. When the environment is right, the rules feel easy, and the hard worker costume finally stops fitting. Outcome planning, the 1-3-1 method to prevent overplanning. Environment set, rules installed. Now we need a planning system that kills fake productivity before it starts. Overplanning is sneaky because it soothes anxiety. Detailed plans feel like progress, but most of that detail is motion dressed up as certainty. The antidote is a tiny frame that forces clarity without the busy work, the 1-3-1. Here's the why. Your brain hates ambiguity, so it tries to plan every branch. That burns hours and still leaves you exposed when reality changes at 10 a.m., a lighter scaffold wins. 1-3-1 gives you a finish line, the minimum viable path, and a constraint, so you start fast and adapt in motion instead of polishing hypotheticals. What it is: 1 primary outcome, 3 enabling tasks, 1 constraint, per day, that's it. The primary outcome is the shippable thing a stranger could verify. The enabling tasks are the smallest completion-bounded steps that make the primary inevitable. The constraint is either time, by 11, 30, or quality, 70% standard, ideally both. It's simple on purpose because complexity invites motion. Let me show you exactly how to set it up. At shutdown, open tomorrow's calendar. Create a block with the event title as your primary outcome, written as a done statement. Publish blog V1, headline, hero, CTA, 1 testimonial. In the description, list your 3 enabling tasks as completion-bounded items. Draft headline and hero copy. Paste 1 testimonial and add CTA button link. Run spell check and hit publish. Then add your 1 constraint in the title. By 9:45, close with a second block for iteration or related work. That's the skeleton, nothing fancy. If a stranger looked at your day, they could tell whether you won. The thing most people miss is the difference between time-bounded and completion-bounded. Work on email is time-bounded. You can do that for hours and ship nothing. Draft email and send to Maria is completion-bounded. It ends. Your enabling tasks must end. That's the lever. If it doesn't end, it's not an enabling task, it's motion. Examples make this click. Sales, primary outcome, send 3 customized proposals, get 1 yes/no by EOD. Enabling tasks, personalize sections A and B for client X, export pricing PDF, send with calendar link. Constraint, buy 200 70% standard. Design, primary outcome, ship slide deck V1, 10 slides with placeholder images. Enablers, outline slide titles, paste brand colors and typography, add placeholders. Constraint, 3 burns, publish to shared folder. Engineering, primary outcome, open PR for auth middleware with tests. Enablers, stub middleware file, write 2 failing tests. Implement pass push branch. Constraint, buy lunch. Now here's where most people mess up, stacking 2 primaries. You'll want to hedge. I'll do the landing page V1 and record the video. Dilution kills momentum. Choose 1 primary per day. You can still do a secondary if you finish early, but the plan only promises 1. The payoff is focus you can feel. When you sit down, there's no debate. Another mistake is writing enabling tasks as mini projects. Research competitors is vague. Collect 3 competitor headlines and paste into doc ends. Outline entire course is huge. List 5 module titles ends. Shrink scope until a single burn can finish it messy. Remember rule 3, ship ugly, then iterate. Your 1-3-1 should mirror that bias. Let me give you a practical template you can copy into notes. Primary outcome, done statement plus constraint. Example, publish pricing page V1, 3 tiers CTA FAQ by 11:30. Enabling tasks, completion bounded. Write 3-tier descriptions. Paste CTA with link active. Add 3 FAQ items, proof once. Constraint, time and/or quality. 225/5 burns, 70% standard. How to use it in your day. Start with Rule 1, open the exact doc. Read your 1-3-1 aloud. Run the first burn to complete Enabler 1. Take 5. Burn 2 for Enabler 2. After burn 2, decide, can Enabler 3 ship the primary? If yes, burn 3 and publish. If no, trim scope to meet the constraint. That decision point is key. Protect the constraint, don't inflate the plan. A micro story, a founder I coach lived in Notion Gardens, beautiful, useless. We moved her to 1-3-1. Day 1, publish investor update V1 by 10:15. Enablers were write 5 bullets, paste MRR chart, add next steps ask. She shipped in 2 burns, then used burn 3 to send to her list. Her words, this felt almost too simple. Exactly. Simple shipped, complex stalled. Common pitfalls to avoid. Writing the primary as a category, not a deliverable. Marketing isn't an outcome. Setting enablers that depend on other people first. Sequence what you control upfront. Leaving the constraint out. Without a wall, tasks expand and dilute quality. Planning in the morning. Plan at shutdown so you wake into a decision, not a debate. Quick win, tonight, write tomorrow's 1-3-1 and put it in your calendar title. When you open your laptop, you're already pointed at a finish line. Do that for 5 weekdays and watch your shipped list triple. The reason this works is it forces the trifecta again. Clarity from a single outcome, constraint from the wall, cadence from small, completion-bounded steps. Overplanning can't survive inside that box. You stop soothing yourself with detail and start proving progress with delivery. Execution under pressure. The 25/5 burn cycles plus kill switch. Planned outcomes meet reality the second you sit down. Pressure shows up as email dings, quick pings, and that uneasy voice saying, maybe start tomorrow. This is where most people slip back into motion. We're not doing that. We're going to execute under pressure with a simple cadence that lowers activation energy and forces completion. 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, repeated. And we're adding a kill switch that dumps distractions in seconds. Here's why sprints work. When you think, I have to finish the whole thing, your brain floods with uncertainty and you stall. But I have to create one concrete slice by minute 25 is specific and safe. The clock makes the decision for you. You don't negotiate, you move. Let me show you exactly how to run a burn. Before you hit start, write a micro-commitment at the top of your doc. By minute 25, I will produce X. X must be observable. A 150-word intro, a stubbed function, and 2 failing tests, 3 bullets for slide 2, a draft email with CTA and link live. Then start the timer. No inbox, no feeds, no context switches. You're not thinking about everything, you're producing the slice. Now the kill switch. This is a one-step protocol to dump anything that tries to hijack you mid-burn. Keep a capture note open called Ks. If a thought pops up, reply to Jen, Google Stats, book dentist. This sentence needs a source. You type it into Ks and write one verb next to it. Decide, delegate, delay, delete. Then you return to the burn. The act of parking the thought removes the itch without breaking focus. If the interruption is external, you trigger the physical kill switch. Quit inbox, close feeds, mute notifications, full screen the single doc. You've built environment friction already. The kill switch enforces it. The thing most people miss is the start ritual matters more than the tool. Your ritual is 3 steps. Read your micro-commitment aloud, hit the timer, produce the first ugly line. That first line breaks the seal. Once you're moving, momentum carries you. Common mistake, using breaks to check inbox or scroll. That resets your attention and kills the next burn. Breaks are for movement, water, breath, light. Stand up, stretch your chest, take 10 deep breaths, sip water, look out a window. If you need to capture something, jot it in Ks, not the inbox. Keep your brain in producer mode. Shortcut that saves hours. The first ugly version rule. In burn 1, you aim at a complete but ugly version of the slice. Don't fix typos, don't tune phrasing, don't reformat. You're pouring clay. Burn 2 is where you shape it. That 2-pass rhythm unlocks speed because you stop mixing production and perfection. A designer I coached wrote ugly first at the top of every burn. Velocity doubled in a week. How many burns make a result? 2 burns produce 1 shippable micro-outcome, an email ready to send, a slide ready for review, a function with tests passing. Stack 3 burns for a major. Blog V1 live, Deck V1 complete, PR open. Think in stacks, not marathons. You'll be surprised how much you can ship before lunch when you stop negotiating with time. Let me give you a concrete sequence. You open your doc. Micro-commitment. By minute 25, draft intro and section headers. Burn 1, ugly draft lands. 5-minute break, stand, water, breathe. Burn 2. By minute 25, fill section 1 with 3 concrete examples. You ship 70% of section 1. If the primary outcome is within reach, burn 3. By minute 25, proof once, add CTA, hit publish. You publish. Then you run a 5-minute ship or show check. Either you shipped, or you write why you didn't and how you'll adjust next burn. That tiny debrief compounds learning and keeps honesty high. Now here's where most people mess up under pressure. They let almost done extend a burn into a 40-minute blob. Don't. Stand up at 25. That mechanical stop protects your battery and keeps quality steady. Another trap is letting a rabbit hole swallow the burn. If you catch yourself researching mid-sentence, trigger the kill switch. Write, source, add later, and keep drafting. You can schedule a research micro-burn after you ship the skeleton. What about days that explode? You can still protect progress with micro-burns. Set a 10-2 mini cycle with the same rules when time is tight. Micro-commitment. In 10 minutes, list 3 bullets for the update. 2 minutes off. Repeat. It's not ideal, but it beats 0, and it keeps your identity intact. A quick win you can try today. Run 2 burns back-to-back on your primary outcome with 1 clear micro-commitment each. No inbox until you complete both. You'll likely ship a 70% version in under an hour. That single win flips your day from reactive to proactive. The reason this system works under pressure is simple. It lowers the cost of starting, shortens the distance to finishing, and gives your brain a safe place to park everything else. Pressure doesn't disappear. It just loses leverage over your next action. And once you have a shipped slice, confidence climbs and the next burn gets easier. You'll still get ambushed. That's life. But with burn cycles and a kill switch, you can protect outcomes without pretending the world stops for your schedule. Next, we'll build a triage protocol so you can handle interruptions, emergencies, and inbox tyranny without losing the day. Interruptions, emergencies, and inbox tyranny. The triage protocol. Even with burn cycles and a kill switch, real life barges in pings, Quick asks, mini fires. Unplanned work is inevitable. The goal isn't to ignore it, it's to handle it without sacrificing your primary outcome. That's what triage does. It's a simple protocol that keeps you responsive without becoming reactive. Here's the core idea: schedule responsiveness, don't live in it. You're going to process inputs in a 60-second triage window at the top of each hour, not ad hoc. That's the whole move. Outside the window, you're producing. Inside it, you're sorting. 1 minute feels tiny on purpose. It forces crisp decisions. What are you sorting into? 3 buckets: now, next, never. Now means it's truly critical and time-sensitive, and you're the right person. It threatens safety, revenue, or reputation if ignored. Next means it matters, but it can be scheduled later today or this week. Never means decline, delete, or delegate out of your lane. Let me show you exactly how to run the window. When the hour hits, open your capture note and inbox. Set a 60-second timer. Scan new inputs only. For each item, ask 3 questions. Is this critical? Is this my job? Does it beat my primary outcome? If you don't get 3 yeses, it's not now. Tag it next with a specific slot or move it to never. Examples make it click. Your payment processor flags an account freeze on your biggest client now. Your colleague asks for a quick opinion on a color palette next. Schedule 3:15. A newsletter pitch from a stranger, never, polite decline. A customer reports a security issue now. A Slack got a minute? With no details, next. Reply with a decision tree link or ask for specifics. The reason this works is it protects deep work while keeping you visibly responsive. People see consistent replies at predictable times. You're not vanishing, you're batching. The inputs stop controlling your state. Now here's where most people mess up. Answering fast to prove usefulness. That's identity phishing. Fast replies signal availability, not value. The achiever identity is measured by outcomes. Responsiveness is a tool, not your brand. Another mistake is letting urgent be defined by sender emotion. Urgency gets earned by impact, not volume of exclamation points. You need scripts and decision trees to make this automatic. Scripts reduce social friction. Decision trees reduce cognitive friction. Write 3 that cover 80% of your interrupts. Script 1, deflect and schedule. Heads up, I'm in a delivery block. If this is critical to revenue or safety today, reply urgent and I'll triage at the top of the hour. Otherwise, I'll review at 3:15 and respond. Script 2, ask for context. Can you send the goal, deadline, and what good looks like? I'll give you a concrete recommendation at 2 p.m. Script 3, decline with alternative. I'm not the best fit for this. Try name/doc. If you still need help after that, send specifics and I'll point you. Decision tree inbox. If it's a request, classify by impact: revenue, risk, relationship, routine. Revenue and risk get priority. Relationship gets scheduled. Routine gets batched. If it's information with no decision required, archive or add to a capture list with a review cadence. If it's a meeting invite, require an outcome and agenda. Otherwise, propose an async alternative. Set your tools to help. Create an autoresponder you can toggle during burns. I'm in a production block. I check messages at the top of each hour. Use filters that route newsletters and social notifications to a later folder. Pin your triage tasks on your calendar. 10, 00, 11, 001, 002, 00300. That visual anchor protects your day. Okay, so the tricky part is true emergencies. Sometimes the fire is real. When a now item hits, run a micro-incident protocol. Define the objective in 1 sentence, list the minimum viable steps, set a time box, and communicate status. Objective, unfreeze client account. Steps, call processor, verify docs, confirm reactivation. Box, 30 minutes. Status to team at 10:30. You still use constraints, even in chaos. Another micro story. A client's team lived in Slack panic. They installed triage windows and a red flag protocol. Only 3 people could mark a thread urgent, and every urgent post required a 1-sentence impact statement. Urgent volume dropped by 70% in a week. Output doubled because most fires were actually uncertainty. Common pitfalls. Letting the window expand to 5 minutes just today. It becomes your new normal. Doing the task during triage. Triage is for sorting, not working. Vague next scheduling. Later means never. put a time and a 15-minute block. Taking ownership without authority. If it's not your lane, route it with clarity. Quick win, write one auto-reply script and one decision tree today. Toggle the auto-reply during your next 2 burns. At the top of the next hour, run a 60-second triage and schedule 2 next items with specific times. You'll feel the grip loosen immediately. If you remember nothing else, remember this: schedule responsiveness. Protect outcomes with windows. The world still gets attention, but your primary outcome keeps the driver's seat. Next, we'll dismantle the perfectionism that stalls shipping, even when the plan and triage are solid. Perfectionism Detox, the 70% shipping standard. Perfectionism feels like standards, but much of the time it's fear wearing a nice suit. The cost is invisible until you count what you didn't ship. You delay feedback, you delay learning, and you trade momentum for polish nobody asked for. If you've ever spent an hour rearranging a sentence while the whole draft sits unfinished, you've met perfectionism in the wild. Here's the thing most people miss. Quality rarely comes from thinking harder, it comes from iteration. And you can't iterate on something you haven't shipped. So we're going to install a simple rule that makes progress inevitable: the 70% shipping standard. Why this matters? When you aim for 100%, your brain often can't define it, so the finish line moves. That moving finish line triggers avoidance, and avoidance breeds busywork. At 70%, you've got usable, testable, coherent. It works, someone can interact with it, and you can learn from their response. That's enough to validate direction before you invest the last 30%, which is often polish and ego protection. Let me define 70% clearly so you can't wiggle out. For writing, 70% means the structure is complete, the point is clear, and the CTA is live. Typos may exist. For design, 70% means layout, hierarchy, and core content are in place. Placeholders are acceptable. For code, 70% means the feature works end-to-end on the happy path with basic tests. Edge cases can be noted for pass 2. For sales, 70% means a customized proposal is sent with accurate pricing and a clear next step, even if the formatting isn't perfect. Now, how do you use this without lowering your standards? 2 pass quality. Pass 1 is structure and correctness. Pass 2 is clarity and polish. You earn pass 2 with proof, real feedback, real usage, or a measurable result. That way your polish compounds what works instead of perfecting what doesn't. Let me show you exactly how to run it. Before you start, write a 70% spec next to your primary outcome. One sentence that defines usable, testable, coherent for this deliverable. Example, blog V1 is live with headline, hero, CTA, and one example, grammar, pass later. Example, auth middleware handles login, logout on happy path, logs TODOs for edge cases. Then set a shipping deadline today, not this week. Today, constraints create momentum. During your first burn, produce the ugly, complete version. Resist every urge to polish. If you catch yourself rephrasing, leave a comment, refine later. If you want a perfect stat, write source later and keep drafting. Your job in pass 1 is to pour clay into the mold. Pass 2 gives it shape. Shipping happens after pass 2 at the 70% mark. Here's the game changer nobody talks about. Pre-commit to who sees the 70% version. Small audience, fast feedback. Send the draft to one colleague, one user, or one client segment. Ask 2 questions only: what's unclear? And what would make you act? Those answers are gold. They prevent you from investing heavily in the wrong direction. Common mistakes to avoid. Polishing before proof of value. You beautified a guess. Vague standards. If 70% isn't defined up front, you'll creep toward 95% just to be safe. Moving the deadline. If shipping slips, it slips forever. Protect the ship date, adjust scope instead. Hiding drafts. If nobody sees it, you didn't ship, you hid. Let me give you a micro story. A founder sat on a pricing page for 3 weeks, tweaking fonts. We set a 70% spec. 3 tiers, 1 CTA, 3 FAQs live by noon. She shipped in 2 burns, sent it to 10 warm leads, and asked, "What's missing?" 2 replies said the same thing: annual discount. Pass 2 added an annual toggle and clarified value bullets. Conversions rose 18% that week, not because the typography was perfect, but because the offer met the market. If you remember nothing else, remember this line: validate, then varnish. You earn polish with proof. Your future self will thank you for not wasting hours on details that don't change outcomes. Now, how do you anchor this so it sticks on hard days? Tie the 70% rule to your daily review. Ask, did I ship a 70% version? What feedback did I collect? What's the single change that improves impact? Then schedule a tight iteration window tomorrow, one burn for the upgrade, not a whole day. Quick win, pick one deliverable you've delayed. Write a 70% spec in one sentence. Set a ship time within the next 2 hours. Run 2 burns, pass 1 to complete the structure, pass 2 to make it coherent. Ship it to a small audience and ask your 2 questions. You'll feel the psychological weight lift the moment it leaves your hands. The reason this works is it flips perfectionism's script. Instead of protecting your ego with endless polish, you protect your progress with fast feedback. Instead of I'll ship when it's perfect, you move to I'll perfect what ships. That mindset turns fear into fuel because every shipment gives you data, and data kills doubt. Ship ugly, learn fast, iterate smart. That's how achievers compound. Metrics that matter: output, outcome, impact. Perfectionism is tamed when you trust quick feedback. Now we make that feedback measurable so your motivation rewires from hours to impact. You can't improve what you don't measure, and hours are a vanity metric. We're going to track 3 layers that actually move the needle: output, outcome, impact. Why these 3? Because they separate doing from delivering from changing reality. Output is what you shipped, tangible artifacts that exist now. Outcome is whether that output achieved the target, opened, clicked, booked, approved, merged. Impact is the business effect: revenue, retention, cost, or time saved. This stack tells a clean story. We shipped X, it produced Y, which drove Z. No fluff and no reliance on hours as a proxy for value. Let's define them clearly so there's no wiggle room. Output, countable, shippable items. Examples: blog V1 published, PR opened, proposal sent, onboarding checklist finalized, deck V1 uploaded, landing page live. If a stranger can't see it or verify it, it's not output. Notes to self, meetings attended, and hours worked don't count here. Outcome, target achieved or not. Examples: 42% open rate, 8 DMOS booked, PR merged, client approved, bounce rate dropped 12%, NPS comments mention clarity. Outcomes are tied to the goal of the output. If you don't set a goal, create a default threshold so you learn fast. Success equals 5 replies. Success equals merge in 48 hours. Success equals 2 qualified calls. Impact, business result. Examples: $2,400 in new revenue, 6 hours saved weekly due to automation, churn reduced 0.5 points, support tickets down 18%, ad CAC lowered by 7%. Impact is slower to measure but worth it. You don't need it every day, weekly or monthly is fine, but you need to see the link from shipped work to real value. Now, how do we track this without turning it into a part-time job? A weekly scoreboard. 3 lines per active project: output, outcome, impact, reviewed each Friday in 15 minutes. Keep it dead simple. For each project, list what shipped this week, whether it hit the target, and any impact signal. If the impact is too early, mark pending and review next Friday. Let me show you exactly how to set it up. Create a note titled Week of Date Scoreboard. Add each project as a header. Under each, add output, list shipped items. Outcome, note the target and actual. Impact, write measured or pending effects. Example, project pricing page. Output, V1 Live Tuesday, added annual toggle Thursday. Outcome, goal 10 trials week, actual 13 trials plus 30% from baseline. Impact, projected MRR plus $1,300 MO if sustained, confirm in 4 weeks. Example, project sales emails. Output, sent 3 proposals. Outcome, goal 1 yes no, actual 2 replies, 1 scheduled call. Impact, pipeline plus $6K, close probability 30%. Example, project dev automation. Output, auth middleware PR merged. Outcome, goal reduce login errors 50%, actual 63% reduction. Impact, support tickets down, team saved ~2 HRS/WK. The reason this works is it creates a fast feedback loop that your brain believes. You see proof that shipping ties to change. Motivation shifts from work harder to ship smarter. Over a few weeks, this scoreboard becomes identity fuel because you're collecting evidence that you're an achiever who delivers. Now here's where most people mess up. They track everything. Don't. Track only leading indicators you control and a few core outcomes that matter. Leading indicators are actions under your control that predict results. Number of proposals sent, number of product updates shipped, number of customer interviews. Lagging indicators like revenue and retention matter, but they move later. If you track too many metrics, you'll drown in noise and start optimizing vanity numbers. Another trap is moving targets after the fact. Set a simple goal before you ship. If you miss it, great, you learned. Adjust the next experiment. The scoreboard isn't a courtroom, it's a lab notebook. Curiosity beats judgment, and preset targets prevent hindsight bias. Tie metrics back into your daily 1-3-1. Each Friday, pick one outcome KPI per project to aim at next week. Example, demo conversions from 20% to 25%. Then write next Monday's 1-3-1 to drive that KPI. Publish demo confirmation email V1 with agenda and 2 social proofs by 10:00. That link, KPI to 1-3-1, prevents random busy work. You're not just shipping more, you're shipping towards something. Let's add a quick cadence. Friday review, 15 minutes. Scan the scoreboard. Circle 1 win, 1 miss, 1 insight. Choose 1 outcome KPI per project for next week. Write Monday's 1-3-1 for each active project. Monday stand up with yourself, 5 minutes. Read your 3 rules. Read the KPI and the 1-3-1 that targets it. Start with output. Micro story, a freelancer tracked hours billed and felt productive but stuck. We switched to output, outcome, impact. Week 1, output, 2 proposals, 1 case study V1, pricing page V1. Outcome, 1 yes-no, case study feedback collected, CTR plus 22%. Impact, closed $1,800 retainer. Seeing the chain lit up his motivation. He stopped padding hours and started designing assets that drove closes. In 4 weeks, revenue grew 28% with fewer hours. Common mistakes. Counting meetings as output. Setting outcomes you can't observe this week. Chasing metrics you don't control, like viral views. Instead of posted 3 assets that match ICP pain. Quick win, start a scoreboard this Friday with just 2 projects. List output, outcome, impact. Choose 1 KPI per project and write Monday's 1-3-1 that drives it. The loop you create there is how identity gets rewritten from hours to results. Cadence and recovery, sustainable intensity without burnout. You can ship a lot in short bursts, but if you torch yourself, consistency dies. Burnout isn't a badge, it's a bottleneck. Recovery is part of productivity, not a reward after it. So we're going to build a cadence that lets you push hard, pull back, and keep stacking wins for months instead of days. Why this matters: your brain and body run on cycles. Ignore them and you start leaking time in the worst ways. Sloppy decisions, rework, emotional spirals, and late-night doom scrolls that wreck tomorrow before it starts. When you define enough, you regain control of the throttle. You leave the desk with fuel in the tank, which makes the next day faster and reduces decision fatigue. Here's the weekly rhythm I recommend: 3 deep days, 2 light days. Deep days are outcome-heavy, with 2 or 3 focused windows of burn cycles around your primary outcome. Light days are for admin, meetings, triage backlogs, and small improvements. The reason this works is load management. You're not pretending every day is max intensity, which means you can actually sustain intensity on the days that matter. Let me show you how to set it up. Pick your 3 deep days, often Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. On those, block 2 90-minute delivery windows before noon and 1 in the afternoon if energy allows. Protect them. On light days, Wednesday and Friday, schedule shorter delivery windows and batch your meetings, routine work, and reviews. Friday becomes your scoreboard, iteration, and planning day. You end the week clean, not exhausted. Now define enough for each day before you start. Enough is not hours. It's the primary outcome shipped at 70% plus 1 supporting micro outcome. When you hit enough, you exit. You can choose to do more, but you don't owe more. That line prevents the slippery slope of just 1 more burn that turns into a drained brain and a messy tomorrow. Protect sleep and movement as keystones. Sleep is the original productivity tool. Guard a consistent window and a real shutdown routine. Movement isn't a gym hero moment, it's circulation for cognition. 10 minutes of walking between blocks, push-ups during breaks, a stretch at 3 p.m. Tiny practices that keep your brain oxygenated. You'll write cleaner, decide faster, and recover sooner. Okay, so the tricky part is the end of the day. Most people run until they crash, then scroll to numb out. That's a shame spiral invitation. Replace it with a shutdown routine that respects your nervous system. 3 steps, 10 minutes, capture open loops, run your reset checklist, and write tomorrow's 131 with the first file staged. Then say out loud, day closed. Close the laptop. Dim lights. Move your body or step outside. That small ritual signals your brain to switch modes. The shortcut that keeps momentum high is edge preservation. Don't end it empty. Leave one small, obvious next step ready for tomorrow. The first line of the next paragraph half-written, the next test failing, the placeholder headline in the slide. That unfinished edge pulls you back into output without friction. Novelty is motivating. An inviting edge is instant novelty. Common mistakes that break cadence. Cramming meetings on deep days. Meetings are fine, just batch them on light days. Treating Friday like a sprint. Friday is for review, iteration, and setup. Make it light and intentional. Forgetting micro-recovery. You're not a machine. 2 minutes of breath, light, or water between burns keeps your energy stable. Moving the enough line midday. Protect the definition. If scope explodes, trim the outcome, don't steal recovery. Let me give you a micro story. A developer I coached worked hot for 4 days, cratered on Friday, and spent weekends catching up. We shifted to 3 deep days, 2 light days, hard shutdown, and a tiny walk after each burn. Result? Same weekly output by Thursday afternoon, with Friday for polish, DMOS, and planning. He felt underworked, then realized Saturday was quiet for the first time in months. That underworked feeling was recovery. His Monday code quality went up, bugs went down, and he stopped rewriting tired mistakes. Build a non-negotiable recovery block post-shipping. When you hit your primary outcome, schedule 20 to 30 minutes for a reset. Walk, stretch, snack, journaling, or even a nap if your context allows. If that sounds indulgent, watch what happens to your afternoon burns when you honor it. You'll get back more than you spend. Tie cadence to your metrics. During Friday's scoreboard review, note not just what shipped, but how you felt and how you recovered. 1 sentence. Energy low Wednesday, moved admin to afternoon, sleep plus 1 hour improved Thursday output. You're learning your personal rhythm. That data lets you design weeks that fit your biology, not fantasy. Quick win, choose your 3 deep days right now and block 2 90-minute delivery windows on each. Write enough equals primary at 70% plus 1 micro at the top of each deep day. Add a 20-minute recovery block right after the morning shift. Tonight, run a 10-minute shutdown and leave an edge for tomorrow. Then keep the promise. Your future self will feel the difference by midweek. The reason this works is simple. Sustainable intensity beats heroic sprints. Cadence keeps your identity stable, producer, not firefighter. Recovery keeps your brain sharp. When those two lock, outcomes start compounding, and the hard worker loses its last leverage. Shame spirals and identity resets, the Bounceback protocol. You'll slip, everyone does. The danger isn't the missed outcome, it's the shame spiral that follows. Shame says, you're lazy, you're behind, work longer to make up for it. That story pushes you straight back into busy work, more hours, more polishing, more pretending while your outcomes stall. We're not doing that. We're going to reset identity fast so momentum survives the miss. Here's why this matters. Missed goals trigger threat responses. Your brain wants to avoid the scoreboard, so it reaches for safe motion, organizing, Slack-checking, research. If you let that run, one bad afternoon becomes a lost week. The fix is a short, structured reset that converts emotion into action. The reset is 3 steps. Name it, normalize it, neutralize it. Name it, write one clear sentence. I missed X because Y, keep it specific, not dramatic. I missed publishing the blog by 3 p.m. because I let research expand. Naming drains the fog. It turns I'm a failure into I slipped on scope. Normalize it. Say the truest thing, misses happen, then add context. Deadlines slip, achievers adjust. You're not giving yourself a free pass, you're removing the moral weight so you can move. This clicked for me when I noticed that shaming myself never shipped anything faster. curiosity did. Neutralize it. Immediately choose a next move you can control. The line is, next time I'll Z, followed by action now. Next time I'll cap research at 1 burn and outline first. Right now, I'm shipping the 70% version in 2 burns. Don't wait for motivation. Start the burn. Let me show you exactly how to run a 15-minute repair session, the Bounceback protocol. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Write the 3 sentences. I missed X because Y. Misses happen, I adjust by Z. Right now, I will produce W in 15 minutes. W must be a micro outcome tied to the original goal. Then set 10 minutes on the clock and produce it ugly. Hit send or publish if possible. If not, post a receipt to your scoreboard. Draft intro shipped, PR opened, outline live with headers. You just turned shame into evidence. The thing most people miss is that self-judgment creates avoidance. If you punish yourself, your brain hides. Curiosity creates action. Ask, what made this hard? Common answers are vague outcomes, no constraint, low energy, or interruptions without triage. Great, pick one lever to tighten. The goal isn't blame, it's a small upgrade that prevents the same miss tomorrow. A quick micro story. A client missed her primary outcome 2 days in a row and spiraled into late-night email to catch up. We ran the protocol. She wrote, I missed shipping the deck by 2 p.m. because I kept tweaking slides without an outline. Normalize. Everyone tweaks to avoid judgment. Next time, outline first and ship 70% by 1:30. Neutralize. In 15 minutes, build a 10-slide outline with placeholders. She shipped the outline, then finished the deck in 2 burns the next morning. The bounce wasn't magic, it was mechanics. Common mistakes to avoid. Making up for misses by adding hours. More time with a broken plan adds more misses. Rewriting history. It wasn't that important. That trains you to break promises. Waiting for a clean slate Monday. Recovery delayed is recovery denied. Turning the protocol into a journaling marathon. 15 minutes max, ship something. Now here's the identity part. When you miss and then ship a micro outcome within the hour, you protect the achiever identity. Your brain records, I'm someone who recovers. 2 or 3 reps of this and the fear of slipping loses its bite. Slips become data points, not definitions. Tie the protocol to your day with a simple trigger. If your primary outcome isn't shipped by the planned time, you must run a repair within the next hour. Non-negotiable. That prevents drift. And if you're mid-afternoon and still stuck, switch to smallest shippable today. Shrink scope to meet the 70% standard. Protect the habit of shipping, even if the artifact is tiny. Okay, so the tricky part is social shame when a miss affects others. Use the same structure plus 1 sentence of status. I'm late on X because Y I'm shipping a 70% draft by 3:30 and a final by 5:00. Here, S what 70% includes. Clear, owned, and outcome first. People don't need your guilt, they need your plan. A useful add-on is the Bounce Bank. Keep a log of recoveries, date, miss, micro-win, review it on Fridays. You'll see a pattern. The weeks you bounced fast were the weeks you still moved. That log becomes quiet confidence. You don't fear misses because you trust your reset. Quick win, run a bounce back today. Pick one thing you've avoided since yesterday. Write the 3 sentences. Set a 10-minute timer. Ship the smallest useful slice. Post the receipt in your scoreboard. That tiny proof is the antidote to the hard worker lie because it replaces I tried with I delivered. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Shame feeds busy work, recovery feeds results. Miss, reset, ship a slice. That's how you keep momentum compounding when real life bumps you off track. Leverage over labor. Move from effort to systems. There's a ceiling on effort and no ceiling on leverage. You can't out-hustle a bad system. If you want income and impact that grow without adding hours, you need to shift from doer energy to asset energy. That's leverage. 1 unit of work that produces results again and again without you sitting there pushing. Why this matters? Your time is the most expensive input in your business and career. If every result depends on you being present, you're capped and you're tired. Leverage breaks that equation by letting code, content, capital, or collaboration carry the load while you move to higher value decisions. It's not lazy, it's smart. It compounds. The thing most people miss is they try to optimize low-leverage tasks before upgrading the task itself. You can inbox zero with heroic discipline, but an automated intake form and a decision tree retire half of those emails forever. Upgrade the task, then the process. That order matters. Let's define the 4 leverage types you can use right away. Code, automation, scripts, apps, and workflows that do repeat work at near zero marginal cost. A Zap that tags leads and sends a resource pack. A script that converts spreadsheets into clean dashboards. A checklist embedded in your tool that enforces steps every time. Code turns effort into repeatable execution that doesn't get tired or distracted. Content, assets that teach, sell, and qualify at scale. A case study that answers 80% of pre-sale objections. A pricing page FAQ that slashes back and forth. A video walkthrough that trains clients once instead of repeating the same call. Content sells while you sleep and onboards while you're busy. Capital, money that buys time, distribution, or capability. A small ad spend that tests messaging and finds signal faster than cold outreach. A contractor who handles editing so you focus on high-value creation. Capital accelerates validated bets. It's not a replacement for clarity. Collaboration, people and partnerships that extend your reach and skill. A teammate who owns a process, not just a task. A partner who plugs your solution into their audience because incentives match. Collaboration is leverage when expectations are clear and outcomes are measurable. Pick one leverage lane per quarter. Spreading thin kills compounding. If you choose code this quarter, your theme might be automate lead capture and routing. If you choose content, your theme might be build a conversion asset library. The goal is one repeatable asset each week, small, shippable, and useful. 4 weeks later, you'll have a stack that changes your default workload. How do you implement without getting lost? Use document once, deploy many. Any output can become an asset with one extra pass. Turn a client answer into a canned response bank. Turn a proposal into a template with variables. Turn a Loom walkthrough into an onboarding module. Turn a bug fix into a playbook. Every time you catch yourself repeating, that's a neon sign, capture and systemize. Let me show you exactly how to do this in 1 hour a week. Create a leverage hour on your calendar, same time weekly. The structure is DRS, decide, reduce, systemize. Decide, pick the highest friction repeat in your week. Ask, what did I do 3 times that annoyed me? Reduce, simplify the steps to the fewest that still deliver the outcome. Systemize, build a tiny asset, template, checklist, script, or short video and link it where the work starts. Next time the task appears, run the asset, not your memory. After 2 runs, improve it once, then stop tinkering. Examples help. Sales emails. Compile the best 2 openers and 2 CTAs into a snippet library. Now proposals ship in half the time with higher consistency. Client onboarding. Record a 6-minute Loom that covers access, expectations, and success criteria. Share it with a 1-page checklist. Support. Add a form that collects environment and steps to reproduce before you triage. Tie it to tags that route to the right person. Common mistakes to avoid. Building assets nobody uses because they're hidden. Put assets where action starts, inside your tool, as pinned messages, or in templates. Over-engineering a system before proving the need. Build the smallest thing that saves you 15 minutes this week. Let usage justify complexity later. Assuming leverage equals software. People and agreements are leverage too. A clear owner with a checklist beats a fancy app nobody trusts. A micro story, a consultant spent hours prepping custom walkthroughs for every prospect. We turned her best walkthrough into a 7-minute video with timestamped chapters and a 1-page fit checklist. She sent it before calls. Prospects arrived informed, unqualified leads filtered themselves, and she cut meeting time in half while close rate rose. Same expertise, different leverage. Tie leverage to your scoreboard. Add a line under each project. Leverage asset shipped, track usage and time saved even if it's rough. Template used 4 times, saved tilde 2 hours. That reinforcement proves impact and keeps you building assets, not ornaments. Quick win, pick one recurring task today. Write the steps while doing it. Turn them into a checklist or snippet. Use it once this week. Share it with one person who does similar work. If it saves each of you 30 minutes weekly, that's 52 hours a year from one tiny system. The reason this shift works is it frees your attention for higher leverage choices, better outcomes, better partnerships, better products. Leverage compounds. Each asset reduces future effort, and the time you save builds the next asset. That flywheel is how you break the hard worker ceiling without breaking yourself. The 14-day identity sprint, from hard worker to achiever. Short sprints create visible wins fast, and visible wins lock identity. For the next 14 days, you're not dabbling, you're installing the achiever rules: environment, planning, execution, triage, shipping, metrics, cadence, recovery, bouncebacks, and leverage in miniature. 1 project, 1 output, 2 cycles shipped. That's the whole game. Here's the simple structure. We'll run 2 weeks with a tight rhythm: install, ship, iterate, and review. Day 1, identity install. Write your 3 rules in first person present on a card. I start with output. I constrain by time. I ship ugly, then iterate. Read them aloud. Pick 1 project and 1 clear output you can ship twice in 2 weeks: blog post, landing page, case study, demo deck, small feature. Define 70% for that deliverable in 1 sentence. Tonight, write tomorrow's 131 in your calendar title. Day 2, environment set. Strip your desktop to 1 today folder. Move inboxes off the first screen. Remove badges. Set your phone home screen to timer, notes, calendar. Create the 10-minute reset checklist. End the day messy but ready with the exact file open and the cursor at the next step. Day 3, plan plus first ship. Use 131. Block 2 burns in the morning. Micro commitment at the top of your dock. Run 25 fives with the kill switch. Ship a 70% version to a tiny audience, 2 peers, 1 user, or your manager. Ask the 2 questions. What's unclear? What would make you act? Post a receipt to your scoreboard. Output, outcome, impact pending. Day 4, triage protocol. Add 60-second triage windows at the top of hours. Draft 3 scripts and 1 decision tree. Toggle your auto-reply during burns. Protect your primary outcome block and schedule 2 next items from today's inputs. Day 5, metrics and iteration. Friday review, scoreboard time. List what shipped, what hit target, and early impact signals. Choose 1 KPI for next week and write Monday's 131 that aims at it. Do a single burn iteration on the feedback from your first ship and publish V11. Day 6, light day plus leverage hour. Keep it simple. Batch admin, run a leverage hour with DRS, decide, reduce, systemize, shipping 1 tiny asset from the week template, snippet, checklist, or short loom. Edge preservation. Leave tomorrow's first line first test failing. Day 7, recovery and reflection. No heroics. Walk, sleep, review your bounce bank if you've started it. Write 3 lines: biggest win, biggest miss, single change for week 2. Read your rules aloud. Week 2 doubles down. Day 8, recommit and refine. Read rules. Tighten your 70% spec if feedback from week 1 showed confusion. Write the week's outcome KPI in your planner. Plan 2 deep days and 2 light days in advance. Day 9, ship V2 for impact. 131 toward the KPI. 2 burns to ship a second 70% version that targets the biggest bottleneck you saw. Example, if DMOS no-show, ship a confirmation email with agenda and social proof. Ask the same 2 questions to a slightly larger audience. Day 10, interruptions drill. Practice triage windows aggressively. If something feels urgent, require an impact sentence before accepting it as now. Track urgent hits, aim for 0 false alarms. Day 11, leverage pass. Turn your most repeated message or deliverable from this sprint into a reusable asset. Put it where the work starts. Share it with 1 person. Note time saved. Day 12, cadence test. Protect 2 morning delivery windows, then honor a post-ship recovery block. Hit enough and exit. If scope ballooned, trim to protect the ship. Day 13, bounceback rep, intentionally pick a sticky task. If you stall, run the 15-minute repair. Name it, normalize it, neutralize it. Ship a micro outcome and log it in the bounce bank. Day 14, sprint review and celebration. Friday scoreboard with output, outcome, impact. What shipped? What hit? What changed reality? Identity check. List 5 receipts that prove you're an achiever. Choose one leverage lane for next month and one KPI for next week. Write Monday's 1-3-1 now. Common mistakes. Adding a second project mid-sprint. Don't protect focus. Expanding tools. Keep it simple until your current setup breaks from success. Moving the ship dates. Adjust scope, not deadlines. Treating misses as moral failures. Run the repair, then move. Quick win, right now, choose your project and write a one-sentence 70% spec. Put tomorrow's primary outcome in your calendar title with by time. That's your first brick. The one shift that changes everything. If you remember one thing, remember this. Stop worshiping hours, install rules that force outcomes, and ship 70% versions on a tight cadence so feedback, not fear, guides your work. Commit to the 14-day sprint right now. Comment your 3 rules, then write tomorrow's 1-3-1 in your calendar title and set a ship time. When you're ready to scale with systems, watch the next video on leverage so your results compound without extra hours. Start your first 1-3-1 today and ship this week.